You presented fake stuff.
I just dressed up and put on makeup.
A lot of makeup. I had makeup all over my jacket.
JB, I feel like I'm done tonight. Nope. Nope.
Hey.
Hey guys, today we're talking Love is Blind Season 5, Episodes 5 through 7.
This was messy.
Yeah.
So messy. And I am here for all of it.
Oh my gosh, man. Like for a season that only has 3 couples, yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
But does it?
3 couples.
But does it?
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, I'm being cheated at 2 couples here.
Yeah, we are. Totally being cheated.
Yeah, I cannot believe that because there's like 15 guys and 15 women, so why couldn't they bring 2 other people in the fold?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to be really upset if I find out there were other couples and they
Are
chose
there?
not
No,
to
you-
follow.
we just
Probably
got the
were.
3.
They probably
Yeah.
were. Guarantee
I'm gonna be
every
very
season they do that
disappointed in
crap. So
I don't know. But there seems to be some people they should follow too, but for whatever reason they don't.
Josh got it wrong though. Josh is like, you called freaking Johnny and what's his name was gonna make it in as a couple and it didn't happen, bro.
Ooh, Chris, I was
Yeah,
right.
Chris and Johnny later. But they didn't go no damn honeymoon together though.
Yeah, he would have.
They got ripped. They got gypped. The show was being stingy. They knew they were together.
Yeah,
They're
that's right.
being
We
stingy.
got send these fools on honeymoon. We'll just get them after.
They got back together at the airport. You know
Right.
what I mean? They could have been
Uh-huh.
like, well, so we do have this. Let's get on the
Yeah,
other
we're good,
plane.
yeah, that's right.
Like, why didn't they get on the
We're
other
going to
plane?
Mexico.
But Uche is blindsided by Aaliyah
Oh,
leaving.
yeah.
They were in love.
Yeah, they were in
Yeah.
love, man.
There
They
were
get
no
'em-
signs.
they get
There
'em
were
on-
no signs.
They get him on the one-on-one. The producer's like, hey, you want us to have Marco Collar? We'll have Marco Collar.
This girl hopped on a plane and she got the hell out of there.
Oh, yeah, she
Let me
did.
tell you, that phone call, you could hear her clear as day. That mic, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
set up.
She was
to
like in the
have
next
that
room,
call.
man. Her ass like in the next room hanging out.
Aaliyah, what happened?
There was like a exchange of words between Lydia and I that didn't really go well.
I'm like, she's at least either the phone had a microphone on it or
Yeah.
she was mic'd up wherever she was.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know.
Totally.
Now, this is a weird conversation because Uche was wanting to really talk to her to get some closure.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't cut her no slack on that
No,
phone.
no idea, man, dude.
Because Uche doesn't know how to cut slack.
If you
Not that
don't.
I agree with
They
what
don't.
she did.
right, Yeah, I don't know.
Again, this is another one of those scenarios that I keep talking about, how she did something bad, but I don't like the way he handled it.
No, Aaliyah, we will never get to that point. If you can't get through something like this, we will never get to that point.
I loved you. If you loved me, you would have stayed here and you would have told me and would have talked this through.
He's
Yeah,
right, though.
That's totally Uche, man.
He's absolutely right, 100%.
He is. He's just an asshole, dude.
He is an
He's just an asshole, man.
He's a condescending asshole.
I was-
Like, I'm sorry. She's wrong. She's wrong for what. And at that point in time, I was actually really mad at her for doing it because I felt like I should feel bad for Uche, but I'm like, fuck that guy. I don't feel bad for him.
Yeah, they're
Hey. Faith over fear.
yeah.
Oh my
there you
God.
go. Like I was with Uche first 4 episodes, but after watching these 3, man, I'm like, what a friggin' douchebag.
I called
Like,
it.
holy cow,
I
what a
called it,
complete-
guys.
What? Oh man, what an egocentrical asshole.
I'm Team Uche. I was proud of my boy cutting her loose.
Not shocked.
I was
Not
proud of my boy
surprised.
cutting her loose because I was very afraid he was just going to forgive her. And,
You were
and-
afraid of that?
Yeah. I was scared.
You're scared for Uche. You're gonna take
Oh,
back
But he's
his
right.
former-
This girl just left and like she
Yeah.
didn't even talk to him, and she
Yeah.
She did.
she did it
That's
based
bad.
on her. And he's like, "You're letting this girl come between us, then
Yeah.
we're probably not going to last. How in the heck can I ask you to marry me?"
I also do think there was much more to the conversation. Obviously, there
definitely.
seemed to be an argument between Lydia and Aaliyah
That
that
we
we
didn't
didn't
see.
see. Not that excuses her. Like, if she's leaving and so upset based on that, she should have at least, like he said, why didn't you leave me a letter or something?
Right, something. Yeah, let me know.
Let him know something versus just leaving. I do think she handled that incorrectly.
He should have just got off that
Still don't
chair.
like
He
Uche.
should have got off the chair and walked in the next room where she was probably sitting right there during the conversation and asked her. Instead of waiting doing it on this fake phone crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good on him. But then Lydia meets Milton.
Yeah. That's a surprise. I tell you what, man, surprised the hell out of me. I thought she was gonna be like, "Oh hell no, this tall nerdy
he
guy."
kind of cleaned himself up
He did.
for this proposal.
He definitely did. But I was very surprised that she was so into him, man. She was. Lydia was into some Milton, man.
I think later on, Stacey says something about them, like, you're going to have neck problems. And I can
so
see
tall.
that at the meeting. I'm like,
she didn't give a single hint about not being really in love with this guy.
No.
You know, she wasn't even like Taylor was like, I don't like this, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, this is my guy.
Yeah, she's all about him, man. She's like, wow, you are tall.
they didn't seem to have like an awkward interaction.
They were like making out right off the bat and everything, man.
I do think after watching them though, like any problems that they have, they'll just make out instead of hash.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it seemed like.
What if we just make out instead? Okay, let's do that.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, so from here, 3 couples only go on vacation to Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Because we had Sugar and Sugar Butt.
That's
Yep,
right.
Sugar and Sugar Butt first
JP and Taylor.
To get engaged.
Mm-hmm. Which we thought were really strong.
Mr. Drill Kiss.
Yeah, I mean, these guys didn't really even explore many people. They
didn't
connected so quickly. And then we got Izzy and Stacey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a little drama there with Johnny and whatnot, but you know, they seem like they're hitting it off.
They're hitting it off very well.
And Stacey does, like, I think I had said in the last episode, I just didn't really buy why Stacey was there, or if she was really there for that. I do think she is now. Like, I am
after
kind
seeing
of
these
leaning
last 3
more,
episodes,
and I do think that they match better than him and Johnny would have.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Which we obviously see later. So.
And I thought the vacation stuff was cool. They have the violinist in the room with the hot tub.
It would have been a little
tub
awkward
and all
if they
that
walked
stuff's
in the
pretty
room
cool.
all honeymooning, you know?
What is this guy doing? Keep going, man. Keep going.
Yeah, but it seemed like it was wasted on those two because they never freaking hit it off, you know?
Yeah,
So,
I don't know if they did that for every room. They just really showed JP and Taylor. So
yeah, I was disappointed in that, man. Those two I was super disappointed in. I could get the sides of what both of them were saying when they started getting into their shit. And like the dude the guy never could say a whole complete sentence. He said like 2 or 3 words. That's all this guy knew how to say.
It reminded me of raising a teenage son who, like, you ask, how was your day?
Good. Right, exactly.
Like, I mean, you don't get any information from him. And she's just like constantly trying to spark a conversation. He's like, and sometimes he wouldn't even say good. He would just do this weird little
smile,
like
little
smirk. And I'm like, you cannot converse with this guy.
No, that dude doesn't talk at all. And it was funny too because they kept, you know, the little bit of talking they were doing, you know,
it was always the same thing.
And they kept talking about this awkward moment. I'm like, what the hell awkward moment are they talking about? And finally, they're like, oh, the awkward moment when we first met. And I'm like, well, seriously, that's what their whole freaking problem is.
We did think
here?
it was awkward
I was
ourselves.
like, well, we did. The way he was kissing, man, I said that dude's like a freaking drill man. Wow, you're like, damn, you're gonna break her face, man. Like, calm down.
He was trying to wipe off all the makeup, apparently.
Yeah. So she did comment on his gap, and then she like she says he has stinky breath when they first get to the room.
I know, and I was like, oh girl,
that was messed
you
up.
Can't call him out on that right now.
Stinky breath this early? Holy cow!
Yeah. But then she was like, I probably got it too. You know.
Stinky breath.
Sorry.
I probably have it too.
Yeah,
I was
she
like,
says
oh,
some
damn.
weird stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I was messed up. I was like, oh.
Well,
crap.
what I was like noticing was that she needs some reassurance. I think, you know, on her
she
end
definitely
that
does. No doubt about
he's
it.
attracted to her. He's not giving it to her, even though later on we find out he's fully attracted to her natural self.
Right.
But she's not giving him any reassurances either.
Well, she says she has to do a lot of thinking. This is a big commitment, like really early on. And I'm like, this is kind of a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Well, she's like, we're not where we need to be right now, I don't think. And then you find out it all goes back to their original meeting. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
There's just something disconnected. Like, I mean, they were so good in the pods, but like in reality, they don't have it. Yeah.
And they kept mentioning, they're like, well, do you want to like talk with a wall in between us? And they said it multiple times like a joke. And I'm like, I almost wish like, can you do that? Can you just give that a try?
Just get a partition, put it up there.
They're just like
just to give it a try and maybe re-spark that connection. Like it wasn't a bad idea.
They're
would
just
say
different people. It's weird.
Well, but then when they're laying in bed, man, they're talking. He's like, fine, you want to know the truth? He's like, I like the way you look now. I think you were fake when you came out. And it's like, bro, women wear makeup, bro. Like, what the hell's wrong with you, dude? And he was like going off about it. Like, he was legitimately upset that she wore makeup.
I feel like if you would have presented yourself like this, without any makeup, it would have been better.
When they met, and he's like, you're so pretty with your freckles, and I like you like this. And you were just a fake person. Yeah,
he was on his suit.
I was like, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
It's just a very odd
Crazy, man.
conversation because, like, you can think she looks good without the makeup on, but there's really nothing wrong with a person trying to impress someone for the first
Right.
time
Right.
and
Exactly.
getting gussied up.
Yeah.
And then to be like, that's, and she points it out, she's like, and that's why we can't communicate all of a sudden, because she hasn't worn makeup since that day. Like
Right.
that was the only time. It's like he can't get past that 3 days ago. He's like, I just like your natural self. And she's like, that's what I've been giving you
Right,
the last
good.
3 days.
Then shut the hell up and let's just do this.
Right.
I wanted to feel and look my best for the first time seeing you. Women put on makeup because they want to feel pretty.
Like,
But she does call him out, and she's like, I don't buy that.
yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
so-
it is bullshit.
Right.
I
It just doesn't make any sense because
No.
that's the first time he met her, so he had no frame of reference to say, I like
Right.
you.
And that's exactly what she
differently.
said. She's like, you never seen me before, you know? So,
Right.
You look
well, he
fake.
didn't know if he had to
Right.
deal with that, and that was not something he was prepared to deal with.
right. What
Makeup.
prepared to deal with a woman wearing makeup? Come on,
But,
woman.
but let's not forget that he had issues with his mom, so maybe that impacted him in some kind of way where he's just not comfortable.
Maybe his mom wore a lot of makeup, you know?
I
No,
don't
but maybe
know.
he's just having problems connecting with her emotionally for some reason because of that, you know?
I just feel it is very odd that it was such a strong connection in the pods, and he was able to open up and
Yeah,
talk to her in the
he's-
pods, and he can't. Sometimes, at some point in time, he can't even say a word to
No,
her.
he's
He
just-
just like
he-
gives her this awkward look, like,
Yeah, he's a strange dude, man. He's a strange dude.
But it wasn't that strange in the pods.
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's weird.
But the other two couples are hitting it off pretty quick,
Oh, dude,
like
they're
maybe
married.
more so than other people on
Uh,
the show. Like, they're
In previous
showering
seasons,
quickly
yeah.
They're
and
having,
stuff like
they're
that.
having sex on night one, showering
Yeah.
together. Yeah, everything,
They were
man. It's
really
like, boom.
surprised. I think it was Milton who was really surprised when JP said that they had. He's like, "Wait, you haven't had sex?
Right,
Like,
right, exactly.
We've been here 24 hours. Did you see the jacuzzi, the hot tub, the shower? Like,
He's like, you got every opportunity, bro. Like, what's going on?
he's like, look at me. I'm a 24-year-old nerd. And I got it.
Right, exactly. Like 3
geez.
times, you know, already.
Yeah. So, and same with Izzy and Stacy, really.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So,
Matter of fact, Stacy was said that one of the things she was kind of surprised by in a good way is that how big he was, you know. So
Also, that he's not as
Mhm.
aggressive as she thought he would be.
Yeah, she's like, I want you to be a
sometimes
little more
she wants to be
aggressive,
bent
man.
over a little
yeah,
bit.
just slap around, you know, get a little choke a little bit, you know.
yeah, she can be a freak apparently.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you know what she's good at is like
I broke the toilet.
ripping some ass apparently. So,
Yeah, it's climbed up that toilet,
yeah,
man.
Oh, I
she,
love that they're
she can
comfortable
clog it
like
up
that.
good, but not unclog it apparently.
That's right, yeah.
That's the right.
That's what maintenance is for.
Yeah, he was cool about it though, man.
Yeah,
He's like,
I
he's
really
like, hey man,
like that
she
they
tore it
were
up.
cool and comfortable about it. Like, can you imagine if that scenario had been JP and Taylor had done that?
Oh, dude, he'd have been.
He'd have been like, I mean, I've never been around a woman who's ever pooped before. Like,
Yeah, and this is kind of weird too.
Like,
the
you
way
seem fake to me now because you're clogging the toilet.
Well, see, this is weird to me because Stacy's really fun and playful during this, but maybe if Izzy did this and she wasn't good in that, it seems like it could maybe be a problem.
Oh yeah, and I agree.
there definitely
I agree with that.
is a
Yeah.
unequal judgment.
Because she
Yeah.
gets
between
bent out
the
of
two of
shape
them.
over some minor stuff sometimes.
Oh yeah, she does. No doubt about it.
I agree. I see that.
She's a high maintenance girl, man. You know, we find that out. She is a high maintenance
She
girl.
maintains herself though, or
Yeah,
she,
well, or she leans on daddy. If I
well, she
can't,
does
if I
lean
can't,
on daddy.
if I can't cover it, daddy covers it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she said.
Yeah. So all the couples get together, and there's not a whole lot of drama. I mean, Izzy and Lydia talk, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't understand all this closure stuff. If you're already with someone, why do you need to have these other conversations? I don't know.
Yeah.
And they
Well,
kind of
in
like turn
previous-
awkward sometimes.
It does, but in previous seasons, you see that it can bubble up later
Mhm.
on throughout the season with their
But
previous
When people have
relationships.
hang-ups, but I don't know if
So
anyone has
that's
hang-ups.
why
No.
they want the closure.
And with only 3 couples, it was like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. You know, and the thing is, though, again, we see, you know, the 2 couples like making out on the beach together, having a great time, and then JP and
JP.
friggin' what's her name aren't even hanging out at all, you know?
right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's killing it in some cornhole, though.
Yeah, he is. Oh, yeah. JP's the whole champion, dude.
It's Captain America right there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, to some people, yeah.
Yeah.
They do go on like an ATV date. I mean, that was...
Yeah, and they seem to have like a good time, and then when they got back from it, it was like shit again, you know? It was
Well,
like,
I don't
damn.
think they seemed to have a good time while on the ATV, but then they sat
Yeah.
down and ate lunch and had the conversation. And again, it was like, this is awkward. Yeah, it's awkward. Maybe we should work on it. Maybe we should work on it. What's
Right.
your fear? You leave. I'm not going to leave, but I might leave.
Right,
But
right.
We'll see. We'll give it another time.
I just don't want to lose you.
I don't want you, but I don't want to lose you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Stacy and Izzy go play miniature golf. So
Yeah.
pretty typical date. A lot
What do you
of sexual jokes thrown in there
Oh,
with the
yeah.
clubs.
A
or
lot of
whatever.
stick
The
talk.
shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hot for him too, though.
He was sweating like a pig.
Oh yeah. There in Mexico,
Yeah.
man. I'm sure it was hot as hell. out
Yeah,
there.
and Stacy, she's pretty sexual. It seems like, and Izzy just kind of goes with it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
wonder if
they-
that's going to be an issue.
Yeah,
eventually.
I wondered what the purpose of the editing was to show us when they got back. I think it was after that night. Like he carries her to bed or whatever. He's like, okay, I love you, but I'm gonna go to bed.
Let's go to bed. Yeah.
Like, was that a joke? Was that because like he really just didn't want to? He didn't need to have sex 2 days in a row. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
that's a lot.
Well, Milton's digging it, boy. Him and homegirl, man. He's going to town. Him and Lydia
Yeah.
in the morning, at night, and in the showers together. They're just
And they work out their differences pretty good too.
Oh, yeah,
Like
they do.
They
they're
just
very-
make out.
they're-
They
and they're-
just
No, well,
make
like
out.
she's like, what are all these towels doing on the floor and stuff like that?
That was so long, right?
Yeah, and then anytime he disagrees with her, he just pulls her in for a kiss, and he just
Yeah.
kisses her.
Or
and
she's
he's
like, or she gives him shit for being young. He's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you're just too old," you know.
yeah,
So,
they do riff each other, but he also doesn't like. She's trying, I think, trying too much to step into like this mothering role.
yeah,
you know?
it seems like a little
I
bit.
do-
and he
I
kind of
do
feels
see
that a little bit too.
Yeah,
so.
and he's not letting that happen. Like with the whole like wear the
Wear
black,
the black
shorts.
ones. He's like,
and
"Hell
he's
no,
like,
man."
no, I
He's
want to
like,
wear gray shorts.
the black
I
don't
wanna
go
wear
pink,
the
man.
Gray shorts.
That's right.
The
Go with
pink
a pink
actually,
shirt.
I think went better with the black personally, but
That went all right with
way
gray.
to stand your
Yeah, it
your
would've
ground
been
on
all
that.
Yeah, it was all
Well,
right.
she was wearing black, so I guess got to coordinate. I suppose he's just not that coordinated.
That's
I
right.
guess.
Yeah, well, no, he said no. He said you just don't understand style because you're too old. That's all right.
Yeah. They do have that young
And
old
then they
jokes
make out.
thing,
Right,
that
right,
they
and then
do,
they make out, exactly.
which is kind of cool. I like how playful they are. And
yeah,
who
it's
would
cool,
have
man.
suspected these two maybe being the most powerful couple here?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
You know?
Well,
I don't know
well,
how.
not
I
like
don't
it's-
know.
You said not a chance in hell.
Not like
Lars.
this, yeah, I did.
Not a chance in
Not
hell.
like there's much to choose from either, though, right? We're damn near down to two couples
You mean
this
between
point.
the two couples?
Right, exactly.
But I did like how, even though Taylor and JP were talking, they hugged at the end, which I thought was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
when they actually ended it, like they came down and he was like, I really want to work on it, and she's like,
I don't think we should be engaged. Don't think we should live together. I'm done.
she gave the ring back. So
Mhm.
like now this last season, Jackie didn't give the ring back. Jackie got to keep the ring. So like, does he get to keep the ring, or does production take the ring back? Where's the ring going?
But it was very cordial though. Yeah, and then they hugged it out at the end.
Yeah.
and,
They
"Okay,
hugged
peace
that
out."
night over the makeup thing before they went to bed, and then
Yeah.
they broke up with this. And she said, "You want to hug?" And he takes it.
If he really wanted her, what he should have done that night, and hugging her back, look, I'm sorry, just come on, sleep in
I
bed
was
tonight.
expecting him to say, "I'm
No.
sorry," and apologize, and I
Yeah.
don't know what I was thinking.
And he didn't,
but-
and I think that was a nail in the coffin.
I
for
could
her.
see that was never going to come from
when
her.
he when he didn't do that, and she actually went to the other room, I was like, all right, they're done.
She might have actually stayed had he done that, because
Exactly.
that's what she's kind of been
Wanting.
asking for.
Exactly.
Now,
and
do you
he's just
think
not doing
he
it.
meant to let her go, or do you think he was fine with her?
Well, so
I
when
think
they
he was fine with
I
it.
think he was fine because when they
Yeah.
split, he's like, yeah, I feel sad, but there's no tears or nothing. This guy got no emotion, right? He's not really showing
Yeah.
any emotion. There's no tears. He's like, yeah, I'm just sad it didn't work,
we got really emotional about the family stuff, so he is capable of showing that.
Yeah, just not with her. So evidently, he just really wasn't into her that much.
Maybe
anyway.
he just didn't like the way she looked, and he was trying to
Maybe.
be okay
Trying to be
with
nice
it
about it.
initially.
So then he like wise to make the whole thing like he's like, I love your freckles. I love I want to see this. I want to see this.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
You think he doesn't like
I mean,
that?
that was like that was just, I don't understand that conversation
Yeah.
at all,
Yeah.
honestly. But, we've seen other people initially attracted to them, and then like a couple days later.
You're like,
Yeah.
I mean, she was a cute girl, I mean, that was like, I
I
thought
thought she was
they were going to work.
attractive either way.
Thought they were going to work out, and damn,
Yeah.
that's just crazy.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. So,
Yeah.
But
But they're
I
done.
don't know.
They're done.
Didn't
yeah.
work.
So then they go back to Houston.
Meet the folks.
Yeah, and then they check out each other's apartment like they always do.
Mhm.
Any thoughts on people's places?
Yeah,
Where
I
are we gonna start here?
Yeah, right.
Well, they go to Milton's first, right?
Yeah, dude, Milton.
He's got some weird rugs.
Dude, you know what Milton's remind me of, man? It remind me almost like a Marine Corps freaking room. When you walk into the little rooms there, and there's we back then we have shit on our walls. We just had our little bed, our dresser.
I think
our
that was a
TV,
little nicer than
and
the
that
Marine
was it,
Corps.
man.
Yeah,
You know,
for
that
sure.
I've
I mean,
seen.
And actually,
his is
I actually
nicer.
thought it was pretty decent. I mean, like
Yeah.
pretty minimalist. And
But it totally reminded
clean.
me. It totally reminded me of a barracks room, man. You just walk in there, and there's like nothing there but
There's
his
no
furniture.
decorations. The
Yeah, no
only
decorations.
thing.
Well,
that
there was
makes-
like a stack of money next to a Playboy. I mean,
That's
that
right.
that was weird.
Dude, that was totally for strippers, man. She called him out on it. He was like,
He's like, "Yep."
bro. He's like, yeah, that's my stripper
And I
money."
think did his friend Josh like try and take the heat from him?
The
I don't know if
Playboy.
that was
I love
actually
his
his
friend.
or he tried it. He's like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
said
got you.
it,
I got you,
and
bro.
then
I got
did the
you.
little fist bump. I love his friend.
Yeah.
Like he's a
He
good
was like,
wingman.
well, then he's
right
like, hey,
there.
man, he tell you that we're like the Pokemon Kings.
I don't know if you've heard, but
But we're pretty famous in the Pokemon world.
I mean, they've even banned us from some stuff.
Because Milton likes to talk shit to these little kids.
Which I can't see Milton doing that, but that's hilarious.
You don't talk shit to these freaking 10-year-olds. He gets banned.
He's very
he's-
protective of his microscope.
yeah, don't touch it. Don't touch the
Mm.
settings.
She's like,
Yep.
that's kind of my job.
Reminds me of that like Step Brother scenes where he's like, "Don't touch
Yeah,
the drums!"
that's right.
Like, don't touch the
Did you touch my
microscope.
drums?
Don't ever, ever, ever touch my drum set. You understand?
Don't go in there.
Don't touch it!
She
Yeah.
did eventually get to look into it though.
Yeah, well,
He was hesitant.
got
to
to
let that
right.
happen.
So
No,
you're
yeah.
geologist, you got to. I
Right,
guess.
exactly,
So,
exactly.
and we go and we see Stacy, and first off, she's driving a Benz.
Oh, yeah. And then she's got another
Got a
Benz
Benz
And
in the
there's
garage.
another Benz in the garage.
yeah.
She
Then
needs
she's
two
got a
Benz.
pretty big house for just herself.
Herself, yeah. Like a 4-story or something, man. She freaking thing's huge.
And what did we see in the closet, guys? Did you pick up on it? Another set of those shoes. They were a different pair.
Stacey,
I looked those up.
I will shit on a
Over
pair of shoes for you.
$600 for these
I'll
shoes.
shit on a pair of shoes for you, a pair of Converse for you, sell them to you for half the price. You're paying those freaking damn
These
shoes that are already
shoes
dirty.
range from
You
like
know,
$600 to like $1,200.
That's insane that people pay that money for those stupid ass freaking tennis shoes.
Well, she has
Nuts.
a lot.
These were sequined though, and she
They
wears
have a
them
lot
so
of
much.
conversations about finances.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, she's super serious about it. And she's
Yeah.
like, look, I'm super serious. I work hard. You got to have some savings. I also like to go on nice trips. I like to
Mhm.
spoil myself. And she's like, so how are we going to do this?
Oh, yeah. And we've seen this on other seasons of this show too, right?
Yeah.
And I think he handled it pretty well, but you know, but at the same time, she even mentioned, you know,
It's kind of a red flag. Though.
yeah, well, and she's like, look, you know, I just don't want to be handling everything, and then you know, when I can't handle stuff, my dad handles it for me,
Yeah.
so he'll be handling everything.
Yeah, and,
It's
It's
like,
like, you know-
who's going to pay for the AC when it craps
Right,
out?
right.
That's
Yeah.
$20K. I'm like, $20K for
and
the
if
AC?
you can't do it, he's gonna have to do it. Okay.
I'm gonna have to call Daddy, and he's gonna fix it for me.
You know, I guess it's your responsibility to take that
Yeah.
up. But if that fails, then it becomes my responsibility.
You know, so
And
it's
she's like, how are we going to pay for stuff? And he's like, 50-50. Well, if she already has the house, though, then hell, man.
you and
gotta,
I are not gonna see eye to eye.
You
on
got to
this
like throw a
one.
lot out there if she's already paid for the house.
yeah, maybe,
Well,
If you don't have to pay for rent, then you should be able to
Well,
contribute
I mean,
quite a
she's
bit.
paid for the house, like,
Well, it
but
didn't
now
say the
he's
house-
living in there. Yeah, it's not paid for. I'm sure she has a
she's making
mortgage.
payments on it, probably. Yeah.
But yeah, here's my thing though.
She was
is
renovating the hell out of it too.
I think
Yeah.
he's all in on like 50-50. I think he's
Yeah,
okay with
yeah, he
that.
was.
But then when it comes to dinner, she's like, no, the guy pays for dinner. So it's like,
And you know, it's funny.
so you want him 50-50 on your house and
Yeah.
all your like renovations and like anything, but when it comes to dinner, you don't need to pay for that. Like it's either 50-50 or it's not 50-50. You know what I mean?
Or hey, you know, one night I'll pay for dinner, next night you pay for dinner, whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
She doesn't pay for dinner.
but it's
Billy.
funny because later on, Daddy mentions that too, right? You know,
Mean that he's got to make $1 gazillion, but it means that she doesn't want to go Dutch, you know, on a meal.
Yeah. Which is like, then again, like, you know, there's different people handle their finances differently in different marriages, right? But, you know, I think with the conversation of the 50-50, it's like, okay, then your money is his money is your money. Like,
Right.
that seems to be the 50-50. If it's not that, then you have this whole unequal scenario and it can cause problems.
yeah. I mean, hopefully they'll sort it out. I mean, the good thing is,
Yeah,
Izzy
let's
se-
just hope.
Izzy-
That's they'll figure that out. on
Finance
the
is
back
probably
end.
like the main argument of any couple.
Yeah.
right?
Most
Infidelity,
relationships, for sure.
finances, and like politics, kids, or whatever.
Right.
Those are like the deal breakers of relationship. But
Yeah.
don't worry, they'll figure it out.
No, but I mean, Izzy so far he's a very easygoing guy that we've seen him, and he wants to make it work, right? He's willing to. Seems like he's willing to do what he can to make it work. So we'll see how that works. But
Well, then they go to Izzy's place, right?
Oh,
And then he's like,
Nice.
hey,
I thought his place looked
Dude,
really good, and
for-
she was initially pretty impressed.
for a dude's freaking place, man, that was for a bachelor. That was nice, man. I was like, damn, that's a nice place for a
he even
bachelor.
had like a flowery thing
yeah,
that he made.
yeah. And I was like,
that
damn,
was all right. He does have a lost and found, though.
Now
which
that dude-
some people are not impressed with.
that was freaking stupid of him to do that. And she's absolutely right. Why the hell did he just throw that crap away? Number one. And number two, why would you tell her about it? Just like, come on, man, you really screwed the
He's
pooch
just
on
trying to
there.
be transparent. I kind of get where he's
I don't
coming
know if
from.
it's that big of a deal, but
It's not that big of a deal. I don't think it's that big of a
I
deal.
think you screwed the pooch, and then he told because she made a good point. Like, if you don't care about these people and you don't know who they are, why didn't you just throw this shit away? And he's like, hey.
But here's the deal. Like, she seemed upset and bothered that he had it, but yet she made the joke that, you know, as a bachelor, you have certain guests over and they would like a nightstand. Like, basically coaching him, if you were to ever be a bachelor again, you should get a nightstand so that your one night stands can have somewhere to put their jewelry.
But then
so he was joking. She was joking about it until she saw that he actually had some jewelry left. And then it's like, oh, wait, it's too real.
Well, but her point was, look, she's like, I've already gotten rid of shit in my house that, like, I think would upset you. You know, she's like, I would think since we're engaged, you would do the same for me.
Why would that upset her?
Because I see her point in what is the point of hanging on to this little lost and found drawer? Like, you're never going to see these women again. You don't even remember who they are. Flat out, he said, I don't remember who these women are.
I honestly just don't think
like,
he
just throw it
put
away.
that much thought into it.
Yeah, I guess not.
I don't.
Well,
I don't
obviously
think
he
he
didn't
put that
because-
much thought into it either way. Like
Right.
I get her point. I just don't
exactly.
know if it's as big of a deal. as
Right.
she
No,
made
she
out to
definitely
be.
makes more of a bigger deal than she should, but I totally get her point.
Yeah,
I
because
totally get
she's
her
like,
point.
I got rid of exes because I didn't want you seeing that because I thought it was kind of disrespectful.
And because I don't give a
Yeah.
shit about those guys, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
And then she sees the plastic way.
that was awesome. Dude, she got more pissed about that. I was like, what, you mean you don't have any kind of like glass plates or freaking
And
silverware
then
or
she
nothing?
seemed really disappointed that he served other women with that.
Right.
She's like,
"You
red
actually-
solo cups and paper plates.
God, you served a woman.
Well, then she's like, I remember when I was like 26, 29, maybe.
No,
She's like,
never
no,
had that.
never.
Always had dishes.
Yeah, we know you're very highbrow,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
we
'cause-
know
well,
that's kind of an
Well,
issue.
because even her
but
silverware is
she's-
brass. Remember? Oh, my silverware is all
Like
brass.
crystal or something, I
Yeah,
don't
she's
know.
crystal. Yeah. I mean, she's very, very hoity-toity, freaking high class. Like I said.
I mean,
like, you know.
and she is driving the car, the Benz. They're not even driving in his
And
vehicle,
already
and
she-
she's driving.
And he never even showed us what car he
So-
has.
He
so-
mentioned
A
something
truck or
at some
something.
point in time. He mentions a Jeep.
Oh, okay.
And because they drove somewhere in the Jeep. He's like, we got into the Jeep.
She's like, I ain't driving nowhere in that.
So I think he has a Jeep. I think it's his.
Yeah, but I'm just
And
like,
she has
there's-
two-
I think there's a lot to her about
and
this.
she has two
though.
Benzes.
And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's going to be an issue.
Yeah. No, I
Well,
think
and the way
money
they
probably will be
handled
an
that
issue.
argument
Oh yeah.
was like, you know, well, and at first it was so funny because she was being somewhat polite about it, but kind of like elevating her voice a little bit. But
Mhm.
like you could tell, and he's like, does that upset you? Wait, are you upset?
And
She's like, it doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not upset. And he's like, are you upset? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, huh.
I'm not mad about that. I don't expect you to like go through and
Are
be
you
like,
mad?
I can't- Yeah. I'm
So he like had to clarify. Okay, so we're actually not just conversing anymore. We're now, if you're mad, this is
Kind
kind
of
of
an
a
argument.
disagreement,
Right.
argument.
And she keeps like over talking him, and then he's like,
Can I just talk?
yeah. And then she's like, F this, I'm out of here.
You take your plastic cup out of an ass.
like
You're the one with the plasticware, so you shut your mouth.
and I get what you're saying and I'm
Can you
hearing
please
you.
stop cutting me off?
I do like the way he handled that. I do like
Yeah.
that he
Oh
said,
yeah, no doubt.
like, even saying that, like, do you mind if I talk?
He
Like, can I
shouldn't have
talk?
to confront her at the end, though.
No.
Yeah, but
But-
then he also handled it, her walking out, even better than how he handled that.
And that,
so-
and the thing is, that's exactly what she needed, and he did exactly what she
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah.
So kudos to him for that,
Yeah.
man. Like he handled
Kudos,
that
but
very
she should probably have been the one to apologize later.
well.
I'm
She,
just
yeah.
saying.
She probably
Maybe she
did later
did.
on. She probably apologized later on.
I don't know.
Maybe
because they-
she
She sounded like that was a deal breaker.
Well, no, because they remember they said they talked about it that night. She made him dinner and everything
Yeah.
afterwards. So I'm sure she was like, "Hey, I'm sorry," you know. So
Well, I don't know.
yeah, that was crazy.
That
man.
was
I
a red
like,
flag.
and that was kind
You
of
got flags flying up everywhere.
So
How do you feel about the plasticware, though?
smart, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You don't got to clean
dude,
it.
especially for a bachelor, man. Like, why
Well,
not?
he
Dude,
had
sure,
plates.
you know.
The plates were like plastic.
They were plastic. Yeah, they were
The
plastic.
problem I have with the plastic plates is like I think I bought one of those once to like just use as like a cover for something and I put it in the microwave and it like warped. So like I don't think you can microwave those. So like that's a problem.
Yeah, I'm sure there's microwavable.
But he probably just uses
He
the
probably
paper
had.
plates
He probably
for the
had.
microwave.
He probably had
plates.
the more Gucci microwavable ones.
I don't know.
I don't think that would not be a huge red flag,
No,
honestly.
no.
So I'm like,
For a bachelor to have that shit, no, I wouldn't
And
either.
they were put away very neatly.
I don't care who has it. I don't even
Yeah.
care if I go to someone's house and they
Right.
bust it out. I don't care.
Like, whatever, dude. Yeah, I don't care what you feed me,
Yeah.
as long as you feed me. You know?
But then Uche meets Aaliyah.
Mhm.
And you're like,
Mhm.
oh, and we thought Uche was the one like who wanted this conversation. But apparently it was Aaliyah.
Yeah.
And the way it happened, like he's like, look, you know, you reached out to me on freaking Insta, and then you blocked me, and then you called me, and then you blocked me on your phone.
Yeah, I was
He
like, what in the heck?
And I had to keep watching your Instagram to wait for you to unblock me. And I'm like, first of all, it's so messy. Everything about this is so messy. But like, Aaliyah, I don't know what you're doing, man. I don't know.
Weird. You dodged a bullet, girl.
Well,
Holy
yeah.
crap.
Now, in this case, Uche.
In this case, I think.
so did
I was
That's
really
your
proud
both
of
of- both
Uche
of
not
them did.
taking her back in this
Oh,
case
yeah, no.
because this was an S show right now.
Yeah, these two don't.
They're,
They
like,
don't need to be.
you
together.
can't do this if you're expecting to get engaged.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, you just blocked
I
me
mean-
and now you want me back and
So,
you say
yeah,
you love me?
And you didn't know about that at first, right? So at first she says, you know, I shouldn't have left. I apologize. Like, you know, like I got scared in that moment with what was going on. I had all these thoughts going through my head, like maybe there was more to it with you and Lydia and blah, blah, blah. And I was being
Now-
played. So I kind of like, she tried to explain her reasoning as to why she left, but
Yeah.
she realized that was the wrong thing. You're my guy. I want to be with you. I love you, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes on to explain like the whole Lydia situation.
And when he said it, I was like, "Bro, that's good. Good on you." Because he was like, "Look, I didn't
The
want to
stalker
I didn't
thing.
want to badmouth her to you, you know,
but
you know,
then
and
he
all that."
puts it all out there.
Yeah, but he puts it out there from his point of view, and then later on we figure out maybe it didn't quite go down that way.
Who
He
knows how
essentially
that
says
went
she's
down.
a stalker
Yeah,
and
exactly.
laid that kind of out there, and you're like,
Mhm.
wow, that's weird.
Right, exactly.
So he's explaining his side. So it's weird that he's doing that, and he goes through all this his side of it and how he had these feelings for her, and he was all in with her, and he was ready to marry her. But it's gonna be a no for me today.
I think it's over between us.
I understand.
And then,
Yeah, it was just
yeah.
it was
Well,
a very
but
unexpected
I don't think we're gonna see
turnaround.
each other again.
Yeah.
Aaliyah had like a weird theory about them too, where like this was all planned and stuff like
Oh,
that.
he was
She's like,
like-
you guys should have gone on the ultimatum.
He was like, "What do you think we were gonna like have all of our friends pretend that like they're just meeting us and all this stuff?" And she was like,
I
"Okay."
do think there's a
like,
lot
maybe.
more to the story than we know. There is a
Oh, there
there's
definitely is, yeah.
and I can you can see her side of that. She didn't handle it right, but you can see her side of questioning it.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
But he says you're blaming this on Lydia,
Yeah.
and it's really you don't have confidence in us, so it's a no.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
was proud of him for saying that.
No, absolutely. And it
I
was-
cannot say those words, but I agree with him for saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with him for saying it as well.
So I'm kind of surprised. I was like, there's only 3 couples. They got to get more couples back.
They
But
gotta get these
it
people
doesn't
back.
seem like it's happening. We
Oh, yeah.
lost another one, so now we're down to 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They're
I'm like,
dropping
where is
in.
Chris in all this?
Exactly.
What
Where the
happened
hell
to
is
him?
Chris and Johnny?
He did. At some point in time, he's like, I need Chris.
Yeah, that was wild, man.
Oh, that was
so,
nuts, man.
I don't know.
And then we get to meet the families.
Yep, the family.
Yeah. So Melvin gets to go meet Lydia's mom and brother.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was cool, man.
Milton?
Or does it Melvin? Melvin is a nerdy name, man. Say it either way.
Wow.
Yeah, that goes pretty well, actually.
Yeah, it did, man. But really well. And like, it was funny because like you thought he was gonna slip up in the end when he was like, "Yeah, this is weird to me. I'm not used to seeing this kind of family environment, but I've always wanted it." It's like, that's a good. There you go. And it was just what
I
you know.
think he was genuine. Like
Yeah,
he
he
looked
was.
like
No,
he was
yeah.
like
Yeah,
tearing
he's
up a
definitely
little
genuine.
bit there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good, man. That was a good meeting. I thought it was really
and
cool.
Izzy meets Stacy's parents and
Mhm. You get to meet
her family.
Just meet your rich daddy, you know.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Mm.
and that goes okay.
And when it's funny because then all the shit Stacy said to him, Dad flat out pulls him aside and says the exact same
Yeah.
crap. Like, you know what? Who I got to pay for Stacy's stuff, but she can't afford it.
He's
know,
like, I
Sta-
need you on
Yeah,
this one
that's
because they're
right.
gonna come back to
That's right.
me.
Stacy doesn't do Dutch dinners, man. You're gonna pay for that.
It's very weird, yeah. I don't know. And he clearly has money. I mean, he's got
Right.
a nice car and everything else. So
Mhm.
yeah,
I will
doing
tell you
well
though,
for
man, like-
Wearing
themselves.
that Psycho Bunny shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I will tell you though, like her sisters look a lot like her mom, but Stacy looks like totally different from the rest of the family, man. She looks like
I don't know. I didn't see
I
that.
thought she looked different than everybody
Nah, I
else.
thought they all looked.
Nah,
I see them come from the same family.
Yeah.
I see them come from the same family, but she definitely had a different look to her than the rest of them did. I think the rest of them looked a lot more like each other than she did. So
Yeah, the family meetups were pretty uneventful as far as
Yeah.
drama and stuff like that. So
I mean, her family liked him, you know, and we didn't. I don't think we saw at least this episode.
Yeah,
That's the
I
only
think
two we saw.
see her meeting his.
yeah, we didn't see the
mom.
guys.
Yeah, we didn't see
parents
families. Yeah,
or
exactly.
Whatever. So, but then the whole group gets together.
And this
Oh,
this
yeah.
is where it just they light the set on fire.
my-
for
yeah, they
this.
do.
Well,
Yeah, they do.
first off, you
Holy
see
crap, dude.
Chris And then the news drops that Chris and Johnny are together. They met at the airport, which is kind of interesting.
Oh yeah.
Like, he just goes up and touches her or something like that without even exactly knowing who she
I'm
is.
sure he had to know. I don't know how that.
Somebody
Maybe he
pointed out to him,
Googled
Johnny.
like what she looked like or something
Yeah,
at that point.
But her story is that he was on the phone with his dad and like
She recognized the voice.
Yeah, she didn't say that, but like that's probably how she knew who he was. But
And then we get like Izzy does his thing. He has to talk to all the girls he talked to in the pod, so he confronts
yeah,
Johnny.
I
and
didn't
he's-
like this side
He
of
goes
it.
the
Oh, dude.
direct route.
Oh, my
like
God.
he
Yeah,
doesn't
oh,
even
yeah,
beat
he did,
around the
bro.
bush.
No.
Glad I made the decision that I made. I heard a lot of sketchy shit about you.
He's like, you're
Sketchy
He's
as
like, you
fuck.
are sketchy as fuck. He's like, and everybody thought so. And here's why. You
There's
lied.
the
He's like, you
shirt.
told us two different things. And again, she is so smart because he's like, yeah, you told me and him two different things, and it went differently. And she's like, yeah, I did tell you guys two different things, but it was the same thing. You know, and the way she plays
didn't
that.
say that. She
Yeah,
said
way
that,
she plays
she
that.
didn't tell him two different things.
She didn't, and
Right.
She said you were always my number one.
Right. But then she told, but the
She
way
didn't tell him two different things.
no, well, she didn't. But the way she explained it to each of them was different in the pods. But then the way he said it to her, she still turned it around.
I don't think.
I think it
so.
was, man.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I
You
think
did
she-
think so last episode.
Yeah,
No,
you did.
I said she.
You said she lies with the
She
truth.
lies
Yeah,
with the because her
exactly.
intentions.
Right.
But everything she always says is true.
It lined up, but it's twisted.
She must be a really
Yeah.
good lawyer.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and then again, you have this conversation. I was like, "Can you let me speak?" Like they like.
Izzy, at what point can I talk? Because you've been talking for like 10
Fair
minutes.
enough.
Can
Yeah,
I
yeah.
please talk now?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't want to speak over
She's like,
each other.
Izzy, you've been talking for like 10 minutes. Can I please say something now?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. And
Right.
and like I don't know, man. He had like an agenda with this.
He
one.
Oh, he did, dude. He
I
went
didn't
in
like
hard.
the side of him.
He went in hard and rude.
Yeah,
man.
it was
He a
very
bit of an asshole.
unlike him too.
Yeah. And she's like, would I end up with the most genuine, like nicest guy here if I was sketchy as fuck? And then she throws out, you're sketchy as fuck.
All y'all. She said, all y'all are sketchy
as fuck. And she leaves.
I'm done with this.
And then he goes and tells Stacy, the guy, he's like, she called us, she said everybody's sketchy as
Well-
fuck. And I'm like, well, you actually started the sketchy
I
as
do
fuck.
like how he's like, "Can I give you some advice?" She's like, "I don't need any advice
Right.
from you." Like, why would she need your
Right,
advice?
exactly.
Who the hell are you?
Nicest guy in here if I was sketchy as fuck. You don't know my story, and y'all are the sketchy as fuck ones, so I'm done with this. You aren't even listening to me.
Well, but then she went to freaking Chris and she was like, he told me I'm a piece of shit and all this. Like, come on, he never told you you're a piece
No,
of shit.
she didn't say that.
She
He
did
said
say
it.
that.
Billy, you really put a lot of words in this
Yeah,
girl's
no,
mouth.
she said he basically said that.
Right, basically I'm a piece
So
of shit.
basically,
And that's what he basically did.
and that is basically what she
Fair
did.
enough.
He did not. She never said that he said it. But then you
Again,
see the
her being a
preview
good
later.
lawyer.
That's what happened.
It did obviously. You can
And
see
then
it
he
upset her and
goes-
made her feel like a piece of
He
shit.
goes to
that's true.
Stacy and essentially brags about how he just crapped
Yeah.
on
Oh
her.
yeah,
And it's
Yeah,
like,
he
that
said
was
he-
weird, dude.
He
Yeah,
said
that was
he
weird.
railed her.
I bit her ass over that couch.
I was like, I think that has a different meaning.
yeah, I don't know what he was doing here. Like,
No, it was weird, dude. It was like
it was almost like he did that to like make Stacy proud of her.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
But she was like,
what are you
"What
doing?
happened? Like,
Right.
did
She's like,
she
"You're
say shit
shaking."
about me?" He's like,
Yeah.
"No, I didn't say. She didn't say anything about you." She's like,
Dude, you're so fucking sketchy. Like, I was fucking railing her.
What did she say?
She's like, all of y'all are fucking sketchy. And I was just like, fucking pissed.
What was the problem then? I don't understand.
And she's like, you're like shaking up. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm just.
yeah.
So she's like, "What did he say? Just this?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like,
Okay. But then you
very
know,
odd. Like,
Oh yeah.
he was like really proud. He couldn't even articulate why she was like an asshole or whatever. You
Right.
know?
But
So
then Johnny goes back to Chris.
yeah.
Yeah, Chris. And she says, you know, well, that went about as well as it was or as bad as it could, you know, and then said that he said made her feel like a piece of shit, and you know, and he's like, you're not a piece of shit. Like, would I be
Right.
with you if you were a piece of shit? And like he was doing the Chris thing.
Yep. Chris is Chris.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then
Chris is
you had
great.
Milton and yeah,
Milton and
I got
Carl.
it. Milton and
Carl's not part of this show.
Milton and Carter talking about
Oh.
JP and freaking homegirl, and Carter's like, nah, bro. If like I had a daughter, I totally wanted to marry a guy like
Yeah.
JP.
JP, yeah.
He's like,
Which is like,
he's got America.
I would like to
Have
know.
you met him after the pod?
I would like to know his opinion on that after watching the first four episodes.
Yeah, so then we get to Uche and Lydia.
Uche
And
has
this
sex.
is
This
where
clown. Oh.
Uche looks very bad.
Oh, does he?
Horrible, dude.
Oh,
I was with them until this
part. Oh, yeah.
conversation.
And this is where you find out what really went down. And
Well,
you know,
I don't know if you find out what.
well,
really
whether she was stalking him or not, it's debatable. You know, she did some
think
kind
she
of
probably
shit.
was.
Yeah, but you find out he freaking cheated on her, right? So he freaking cheated
According
on
to her.
Right, according to her. But she did say, she was like, "Hey, Uche, do you want me to spill it out here in front of TV land and everything?" He was like, "Oh, yes." You can tell he has shady shit. That
I replayed this conversation for him because when she said that, he's like, "That's her story that he cheated," and I'm like, "Okay," but when he starts that conversation, he mentions that he was trying to figure out why she was going through his stuff or all this stuff, and he's like, "I was honest with you," and she's like, After a while, he's like, yeah, eventually I was honest with you. But then I asked you, what led you to the question?
How did you figure it out? Yeah, exactly.
And you said it was intuition. And then he comes to find out it's because she went through the stuff and there was sexting and they found sexting. And I'm like, okay,
Was
so
that
clearly it was, if they were together.
Yeah, they were together.
Which
He's
it sounds
sexting
like-
another woman. That's cheating, man.
And again, he's sitting here talking.
Sexting, but not having sex.
Well, no. I
It's
don't
still
know
cheating.
I don't know if the sexting was the cheating. I don't know. They don't clarify this in the conversation, or she doesn't clarify it on the other thing.
She clarified later.
She
saying he
says
cheated
that
on
he
her.
slept with somebody else, I
Right.
think.
Yeah, she does.
But she found the sexting.
So why
and
doesn't
that's
she
why.
just come out and say what's what? Why would she be protecting this guy?
I think.
Well, I don't think he was letting her speak, and that was the issue. And,
And I
just,
think
like,
she was trying to,
just get out.
and again, I think she was trying to kind of save face for him. Like, hey, I don't want to
Well,
air
why?
out the dirty
I
laundry
think
here
it
on TV.
also has a little
Yeah.
something to do with. I think they're both wrong in this scenario. I think
Right.
she is a little bit of a stalker,
Something's
a little
weird.
bit of obsessed.
This whole scenario is weird.
It's messy.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah,
even
it's
know
too
why
messy.
Uche is even bothering to have these conversations.
That's what I'm saying. Why did Uche
well,
even go back there?
Dude, and the fact that she kept trying to walk away, but like, dude, this is our past. I'm fucking done with this. I don't want to even
Now
talk
I
to you
love when
anymore.
Milton
And he
comes over.
kept
They're
calling
like,
her
"Where
back.
were you?" He's like, "I was pissing in the urinal."
So much detail.
And then he's like,
not just pissing, but in
he's
the
like,
urinal.
I loved this
"We gotta go
part.
somewhere in 10
10
minutes." And Uche's like, "Oh."
You guys can keep doing this, but 10 minutes. We got
Yeah,
to go.
good.
I was like, man, did he understand the
And
assignment?
then in the
or
end,
did they
she's
really
like,
have the 10
she's like,
minute plan?
"Milton."
Yeah.
And then Uche's like, "Can't
Let's
he's
talk,
like,
bro.
Yeah, let's go do this thing." And I'm like,
I love
"What
Milton.
the hell is
man.
going
Oh,
on?"
yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, Uche is like the red flags are like he is
I
a red
just
flag.
don't know why he needs to even bother talking to Lydia to
I don't
begin
either.
with.
He has a problem.
And the thing is, and the way he started that conversation, he's like, "Look, I was really into you. We really cared about each other."
Yeah, he's trying to build
you know,
her
and-
up.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so manipulative.
No,
he is condescending. He's narcissistic. He's so everything that you don't ever want to be in a
Yeah,
relationship
that guy's a
with.
douchebag, no doubt about it. But I mean, there's something happened between both of them. They were both wrong in some aspect, but he was a freaking douchebag.
I do
still
love
think
where
she
they're
might be a
both
little
like
crazy.
talking, not listening to each other, but no one's stopping.
You're not gonna talk to me like that.
And this is
Listen,
how
Uche.
this is how
Listen,
I know.
Uche.
You
At the
lied
end of
to
the
me,
day,
but
at
you
the
weren't
end of the
honest
day,
about that
at the
until I
end of the
told
day,
you that
at
I'm never
the
going
end
to
of the
talk to
day,
you.
They just keep talking over. And then like the way he's like, just come back here and keep talking. Like he doesn't. Mm-mm.
He's like, "Are you gonna walk away? I got more shit to say. I'm not done here."
Let me finish.
Come back.
He used to say that was the way you can always win. And you always say, just let me finish. Just let me finish. Just let me finish. And then he's like, she's impervious. Don't let me finish.
I want to finish. I'm not even done telling you everything.
I don't want to talk to you.
It's not working on
That's
her.
right. She didn't care, man. You want to hear his finish.
Yeah, I can't wait until the reunion on this stuff.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Hopefully
No
they'll get to
doubt.
the bottom of what's really
It
going
happened,
on.
yeah, exactly.
here.
I kind of want to look it up, but like I'm afraid to
Oh.
look stuff up because I don't want to be spoiled. But I'm
Well, I mean, we
sure
got-
there's dirt out there about this.
Yeah, we got 3 episodes left. Who knows what else is gonna come
So
out?
we got 2 couples, I guess, maybe 3,
We got 3
that aren't part of the show. One's not part of the show.
Yeah.
Because you got Johnny and Chris that I
Yeah.
guess they gave up on. So
Right.
they let others sometimes come back, but not these 2.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
Well,
we're just
maybe
gonna step-
They could have got a free wedding out of this.
Well, maybe they weren't ready to get married. Maybe they're just boyfriend and girlfriend.
Well, they did say that. She's like, "Oh, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Not
Yeah.
engaged. We're not engaged.
What
We're
do
just
you mean? Maybe
boyfriend
they
and
would've
girlfriend."
Hey, that's
let
probably
them.
more than most of these people are. So,
Yeah, true. Right.
but
Oh, man.
what do you think happens here?
Dude, So
The
basically,
previews try to throw you off.
they do, but the previews make you
One looked like they were stitched together. I was like, that doesn't look like the actual
Yeah,
conversation.
and the previews make you think that freaking Izzy and Stacey are gonna make it, right? It seemed like, but again, the previews always try to throw you off. So who knows what the hell's gonna happen there?
Yeah.
Well,
Based
what
on
do you
the-
think's happening?
I think Izzy and Stacey will say yes, based on just how they're doing right now.
I think
Milton,
Stacey will say no.
you think so?
Yeah.
Based on
Those plates,
based on what you,
they're like,
She's like,
she has nightmares about those plastic plates.
She's like, you spent $1 on a set of plates, and I spent $800
yeah, have you seen her
on my
shoes?
shoes.
She's still going with those plates.
Right.
And she's like, I don't think you could pay for the kind of dinners I have, so this just ain't gonna work.
Right.
So,
I don't know.
Right.
I
Now-
cannot give my predictions on these.
and if Milton and Lydia don't work out, then I'm wondering if it's like a shake kind of thing where it's like, did you not show us everything with these two? Because
Right.
everything seems to be going
Yeah,
great.
but Milton,
right now.
Milton now in the previews, of course, it does show Milton having it like, oh man, this is like the biggest decision ever made. I am a young guy,
Yeah.
So it makes it seem like he's, thinking twice about it, but
I think there's also, you got to keep in mind the Uche scenario.
oh yeah,
There's something
gotta finish
not
that.
right with Lydia and Uche as far as that relationship and how they came to be on the show together.
They can't
like,
separate. They're like,
There's something off about
they
that.
come on the show together, then they have no business even talking, but they're still hanging out together. Like, what is
so
going on here?
I don't know if that plays a part in this. What if Uche comes to the wedding? He's like, it's really you.
Yeah.
No,
I am
that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because he would never put himself in
People
that
seem kind of
situation.
impressed when Uche got to that party, though. They're like, oh my.
no, OJ showed up. Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't impressed.
So,
I don't know, man.
I was like, this guy. Why
he's
the hell
in
is this guy
shape.
here?
He's tall. He's got the cool job. So,
what do you think here?
I just told you, like, Stacey dumps Izzy.
Yeah. What do you think about their two though?
Yeah, they're getting married.
Are they?
Mm.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, from what I've seen.
Do you think we get a Johnny and Chris engagement?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Nah.
I don't know if they're gonna follow them anymore.
Chris eventually is going to.
What about, like, at the reunion? You think at the
something's off
reunion?
with this chick?
Right.
You think at the reunion they'll be engaged, or they just will be broken
Well,
up?
I don't even know how much time's passed here, but
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we know this was. Didn't we figure it out that this was filmed in like March of 22?
I didn't figure that out.
Did you figure that out?
I think I figured it out.
I'm interested to see JP and Taylor too. I think there might be more that we're not shown there as well.
Probably so. There's got to be, dude. There's got to be more that we haven't seen there. To like, what the hell is so wrong with what happened with them? So yeah, hopefully they'll show us something.
Yeah, I was disappointed that neither one of them.
And
came
like
to
they're
get
kind of
together.
breaking the show. Like, wait a minute, you do this at the altar, not like
Right.
before
Yeah,
this.
you can't do this shit right now.
They're not the only couple that's broken up on a honeymoon.
That's true.
This is like every season.
Yeah,
I
but
think there's
they
one
got
that's
two
done it.
couples here.
Right, exactly.
There's been at
There's
least
three
two.
right now. They'd be like, no.
Yeah, like, I don't know how they're getting 3 more episodes out of these two couples, man.
Well, maybe the
That's why
cast,
Uche's there. He keeps coming back.
maybe casting needs to figure out what they're doing.
Oh, but guess who we did get to see again briefly? Your girl Renee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good to
She
see her.
didn't do a whole lot, but
No.
she was trying to get in on the
Well,
drama.
she
I
did
guess.
she did mention how Stacey was like, I wish I'd have shit in the
Yeah,
cookies.
in the cookies. Yeah. So,
She's
like,
like,
I didn't realize things were like that.
Right. I know, right? Well, but Stacey did mention, like, look, hey, when I was in the pods with Johnny, I was cool with her. I didn't talk shit, I was, but yet I found out
She
she was talking
figured
shit
it
about
out.
me the whole time. Yeah, exactly.
Well, she
So-
figured out first that they were interested in the same person.
Mhm. And she's like, and I was fine with it. I was supportive, but yet all of a sudden Johnny's talking shit about me to
And
everybody
Johnny
else,
was
so-
talking a little
She
trash.
was, so yeah.
Here's what
No
I
doubt.
think people need to learn from a couple seasons is don't befriend your podmates.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't work out.
Especially if you're dating the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It was interesting episodes.
Oh, it definitely was, man. Yeah. But guess we'll find out what's going on in the next 3 episodes, right? We're dropping the next 3 next Friday, I believe, right? So and after that, I'm sure
I think it's 2, but yeah.
or maybe 2 and then a reunion after that, right? There you have it, folks. That is our take on episodes 5 through 7 for Love is Blind season 5. We're totally glad this show's back. It doesn't cease to entertain us, and we hope it doesn't you as well. And hey, as always, we love talking to you guys about this. Please let us know what you think about what's going on with these couples. Hit that like, subscribe button, and we will check you on our next review.
See ya.
It's kind of,
Oh.